crocheters of the world. In this tutorial we will work together the last actually sweater pattern of mine on this year, and it's this one that I'm wearing right now. It's not a top-down. I know that you know that I really love top-down construction for pullovers and cardigans and so on. This is another style, another way of working a pullover and sweater pullover, and it's so nice and so easy. I'm sure you will love it. I just try to make it easier, so easy for you to understand. Hope I succeed. And what I can say is that you will begin, so we begin with a sleeve, so from a sleeve, and then we continue on working front side, back side together for the width actually that we want, okay? So it's nice and large. So for the width that we want of our pullover, then we will work back side, then the front side for the neckline, of course, and we will repeat the other side, so with some differences, of course. Now in the tutorial we will work together on this one. Look at it, isn't it cute? So if you don't want to make it one for you, you can make it for, I don't know, a child, a girl. Actually, it's a girl pattern. So I haven't sewn yet this one because I wanted to show you actually how it looks. This is it. So we begin with a sleeve, we continue on, we open for the back side, then we work the front side, and then together front and back, and then the other sleeve. And then we fold, and miracle, we have our sweater. So nice. The stitch is double crochet. Believe me, it's double crochet, only that it's worked only in back loop. So it gives this rib, nice and beautiful rib effect actually. Okay, so as you can see, it's so easy. On my blog you have the written instruction. So actually instruction, it's that I wrote down mine, how I worked mine. Mine is a M size, a medium size. You already know my size, you that follow me. And I wrote down the stitches, but also the in centimeters, okay, the measure of sleeve, length and width of body, and so on. So you just have a point where to make your size, okay, where from to begin actually to create your size. It's really easy, you'll see. So in the tutorial I show you step by step the construction itself, and then you have my size, M size, on my blog. So it's really easy, you'll see. Now what can I say? You will have, of course, how many, so the quantity of yarn that I use, what kind of yarn I use, and some ideas of the yarn that you can use. So that's it. Hope you will like it. Thank you so much for watching and for following me and for writing me so many beautiful words. I'm really so happy to read your comments and to see that you really appreciate my work. So don't forget to like my videos, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, on my page on Facebook and on Instagram, and to share my videos. And of course don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss another of my tutorials. Happy crocheting! Okay, now first of beginning actually the swatch, where I will show you exactly all the steps that you have to work the construction actually of this pullover. Let me show you a little bit here. So I said we begin with the sleeve, with one sleeve, and we will work open. So it's a open work, then we will sew together the sleeve and the side, both sides, of course. So we begin with the sleeve with the circumference of the wrist plus 6 to 8 centimeters, 6 to 10 if you want to if you want it larger, okay? So depends how you want the sleeve to be. And we will grow up like this, working increases. Each of our third row we will work an increase. We will grow up and we will continue on with the sleeve. We will stop 10 centimeters, 10 to, let's say, 14 centimeters. Again, depends how large you want your pullover to be. It's a full sleeve, okay? So 10 to 14 centimeters to the shoulder. So actually the shoulder, where the shoulder began. And we will continue, and we stop here, okay? And we will put some chains for the body on one side and on the other side. And then we will continue on increasing in each row at the beginning, at the end, until we will reach the mid shoulder. And from the mid shoulder we will work the back side only, and then the front side, working some decreases here, decreases and increases, so to create the neckline. And then we will join again all, and we will decrease exactly the number of stitches that we will increase here. We will decrease on like this, and this will be exactly the same number of rows. Rows will be worked here, so of course. And then we will work the sleeve on the contrary, but exactly the same number of rows. So more or less this is the idea. And then we fold and we sew here. Okay, more or less this is the idea. Now let me show you how to begin. I put here 24, I think, chains, but I said it's the waist circumference plus 6 to 10, depends how large you want to be. Okay, and from this number we will begin with chain 3 for the first double crochet, into the 5th chain from the hook, work the first double crochet and continue on with so by working 1 double crochet in each chain that you have for the first double crochet row, and then from the second all along, so actually until the end of this pullover, we will work double crochet back loop only. Okay, so we will have this we will get this rib effect that it's so nice, gives a nice and elastic texture, and it's nice to see too. So I am almost ready with my first double crochet row, and we don't have to increase more than in each third. So in each third row we will put an increase at the beginning and at the end of each row until we reach, as I said, until we go on like this with the sleeve, 10 to 14 centimeters to the shoulder. So this is, let's say, the body, this is the sleeve, sorry, the hand, the arm actually, shoulder, neck, shoulder and sleeve again, and sorry, arm again, and body. Okay, so we work the sleeve. This is the beginning of the shoulder, and on the midline it's the mid shoulder. Okay, we need these 2 points here. Okay, so we go on with the sleeve increasing until we reach 10 to 14 centimeters to the shoulder, so where the arm finish and begin the shoulder. Okay, So begins the shoulder, sorry. So this is the idea. We have to stop. Now again, depends, because from here we will begin to work the body. So depends how large you want to be. Okay? Okay, I finished my first row, and now from the second I will begin to work, as I said, back loops only. So chain 3, and this is the first double crochet, stands here for the first double crochet, and into the second, here it is, this is the back loop, and it's only here that we have to work. This is the pattern stitch, really difficult. So go on and work like this. This is the second. And into the third, I will begin and end with an increase. I finished my second row, and you have also to write down the stitches. So I began with 24 stitches here, okay? I have 24 stitches, and from here in each of my third row, I will increase twice, which means 24, 26, and so on. So 1, 2, this is my third, so I will chain 3, but I don't want to skip the first, even if I already have one double crochet, which is the chain 3, but I will work one more. Back loop only, don't forget, and then I will continue on with my stitches, and into my last stitch, and my last stitch is the chain 3 of the previous row. So into the third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the previous row, we will work an increase. Okay, now let me just continue on for some rows like this, and then I will be back to show you what's next. So the next step, how to put the chains and to work the increases, sorry, for this part. I'm back because I completed the sleeve, the little sleeve, of course. Now I work in groups of 3, as I told you. So I've told you before. So I work 1, 2, 3. Into the third, I put an increase. Here it is, and back loop only. Look the beautiful design. It's elastic. It's nice. Can you see? It's really easy. So it's 1, 2 into the third. I put an increase at the beginning and at the end of the row, and 1, 2 and increase, 1, 2 and increase, 1, 2 and increase. Finish with a increase row. And also write down right sleeve, 24 chains, rows 1, 2, 3, 24 stitches. Oh, sorry, it's 26 stitches because into the third we increase. So it's 26, then it's 28, then it's 30 and 32. So I finished with 32 stitches. So 1, 2 into the third I had 26. 1, 2 into the third I have 28. 1, 2 into the third I had 30. 1, 2 into the third I had 32. So 32. Put it apart. Now I finish until here. So here I already explained it must be a full sleeve, okay, which means we don't go on with the sleeve until the arm, the shoulder, okay. So we just leave 10 to 14 centimeters to the end of the sleeve, to the shoulder, where the shoulder begins. Okay, now from the sleeve we have to cover the distance from where we stop with the sleeve to the mid shoulder, where we begin to work only the back and then the front. So to the mid shoulder, so to here, from here to here. Now this part we will work it in big rows, which means we have to add chains on one side, on the other side. Now, how many chains? I add chains For the length, 6 centimeters more, passing the waistline, so 6 centimeters more. So here I will just go on and add some chains. So let us add here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's say 22, okay? But as I said, here I just continue on. Now I have my 22 chains, and what I want to do is to leave it like this. I will just want to cut the yarn or to take it from somewhere else, a little piece of yarn. I will take it from here. Okay. And I will put the same number of chains on the other side too, which is here. So let us work them. So I have 22, I will work 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And I want to put them here. This is 1 and is the chain 3. Okay, into the 3rd chain. Here I will insert hook and join with a slip stitch and cut the yarn, of course. Now I have my chains on one side, on the other side. So what I have to do is to write down after the sleeve this part, so to the mid shoulder. So to the mid shoulder we put 22 chains plus 22 chains, okay, and we know that we have 32, so we will have 22 plus 32 plus 22, and from the very first row we will increase at the beginning and at the end. So don't forget here, for this part until the mid shoulder we will work increasing in each, at the beginning and at the end of each row. So I will take my yarn here where I stopped, and I will begin to work my chain 3 and then into the 4th chain, not 5th but 4th, 1 more double crochet. Why? Because it's an increase, and then I will continue on working into my chains and count the chain. You must have the number that you put, okay? Count the chain, then count the number of the stitches on the sleeve. You know how many you must have, so you must end up with the sum of the chains plus the last of the sleeve, so the last row of the sleeve. In my case is 44 plus 32, it's 74 stitches. I must have a total of 74 stitches, and I will continue on. 74 actually will be 76, because as I said we increase. So in each row I will increase and I will complete this part, okay, and I will be back to show you what I have. Now you will write down how many stitches you have at the end of this part too, okay. Okay, I went on for 6 rows here, long rows, and as you can see this is what I have. I increase at the end, at the beginning and at the end of each row, and I have this nice line here. Now I will work only the back side, and this is again you to decide the length, because it's mid shoulder to mid shoulder, you know, it's you to measure this part, and then you will work the back side for this part. So I work 6 here. Of course this is the little swatch. For mine I guess I worked 17 rows like this, and then I work the back side. Now for the back side we know that we have 70, sorry, we know that we have 70, here I am, we have 70, it's here in English, I have one in English, one in Italian. Okay, we know that we have 76 into the first, so into the second plus 2 it's 78, into the third it's 80, and into the fourth 82, into the fifth row of course is 84, and into the sixth it's 86. Now finally we know how many stitches we have. I have 86, and I will divide of course by 2, so it's 4 and 3, 43. Okay, what I have to do is to go on, and I need a marker, so I will take a marker and I will, from here, I will count 43, and I will work, or you don't have to put the mark, you can just work, begin, and for 3 more rows I will increase on one side and on the other side, on one side, okay, for 3 more rows. So this is the first, I want to put the increase, and I will count 43, which means here I will count only 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back loop only. I work actually 43, so there is half of the entire number of stitches. This will be the back side. Now I will work 2 more rounds here with rows, sorry, here with increase. So from here I will go back and increase at the end. Then I will increase again at the beginning of my 3rd row for the back side. And now I will go on, and then I will go on straight for how many rows I need to cover the distance of the mid shoulder to mid shoulder. But I don't have to forget that I have 3 more rows to work with decreases at the end of this part on the back side. Okay, so there are 3 rows more. Let me show you 3 rows more, and then I will go like this straight. Okay, and then here I will have the last 3 rows with decreases, but I will show you just because we need to create the contrary, the same shape. Okay, so the shape that we gave it here, we must give it here, and to do it we will need to decrease, so the shape that we have here. Okay, now let me finish these 2 rows with increases on this side, and I will go on for some rows just straight with all the stitches as they are, and I will be back to show you how to begin with the decreases. So here I am, I almost finished the back side. As I told you before, I worked the rows straight, so without increasing. So from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the rows that I worked together with the front side, and from this one I began only with the back side. So I work 1, 2, 3 rows of increases, and then I went on straight for 7 more rows. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and from here I have to put 3 more rows for the back side, beginning exactly the shape, so the shape, but on the contrary, which means I want to decrease to create this shape on the contrary. So there will be 3, the last 3 for the back side, and these, as I said before, these 3 and 3, you can take it, you can keep it for every size, each size that you want to work, even adult size. But the part in between these 3 and 3, so the part that you go on straight, of course there will be more. So actually I worked for mine, you will see on my blog, I think 24. So 6 plus 6, 3 plus 6, 3 plus 3 are 6, and I worked a total of 24. Okay, so this is of course you to decide for based on the length that you have, you measured mid shoulder to mid shoulder. Okay, now so I said now I have to work my 3 rows with decreases to finish the back side, and then I will begin with the front side. So I just chain 1, or you can chain 2 but not 3, and I will skip the first, I will skip directly into the second, and this is the first double crochet. So when I come back I won't work into this chain 2, so this chain 2 is not a stitch, it's only to skip into the second stitch to work it, and this means we eliminated 1 stitch, so we decreased 1 stitch, and I will go on and work until the end for the back side, and then I will be back, and at the end of the second row I will work again a decrease. Okay, and then at the beginning of the third row I will work again a decrease. So we will decrease only on this side. I am finishing the second row, and as I said, into the second row we will finish with 2, so I have 3 stitches left. I work 1, and the last 2 will be a decrease. So these are the last 2, we don't count the chain 2 that we have here. So insert hook into the second to last, work it, but don't finish it, leave a loop on the hook, yarn over, insert hook into the last, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave a loop on the hook, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all. And now we will begin the third and the last of the back side, neck opening actually. We will begin it with a decrease, which means chain 2 or 1 if you want to, and skip the first, insert hook into the second, and this is actually, this will be the very first double crochet, okay, of the row. And now continue on until the end. When you finish this row you can cut the yarn because you finish the neck line on the back side, and we have to work it on the front side too. So I finished the back side, actually the neck, around the neck back side, and this is what we have from the airplane. So this is the back side, the sleeve, front side, and we want to fold it so we will see the beautiful shape that it's coming out. Okay, exactly the same number of stitches of rows that we work for the back side, we will work for the front side too, but on these 3 rows that we begin with, we continue on increasing, we will decrease on the other side. If you work more than 3, you can put 4, 5 rows, you can continue on increasing. Then for that number of rows you will decrease here, and that will be the decrease for the front neck shape, so the neckline shape on front side. Let's see. Another very important thing is that we will begin it exactly on the same row, long row that we work the back side. Here we finished the backside row, yes, the first backside row, and we want to skip 2, and this is for all measures, 1, 2, and into the third insert hook. Okay, so for all measure will be like this. And we begin, as I said, with a decrease because we want to create the shape of the neckline on the front side. And we will end with an increase because, you know, on the back side we increase 3 more rows when we divide from the back. So begin with a decrease and end with an increase. Second row will begin with an increase because we begin here on the bottom part of the pullover of, yes, what it is, and we will finish with a decrease. The third row will begin with a decrease because we begin here on the neckline, and we'll finish with an increase. Now, to decrease, chain 1 or 2 and work the second into the second stitch 1 double crochet, and this will be the very first double crochet of our front side rows. And I will just continue on until the end. Don't forget to increase. Then, exactly as for the back side, for the same number of rows that we went on without increasing or decreasing, we will go on we will complete for the front side. So I put 3, then 7. I went on for 7 rows, exactly the same number of rows I will put on the front side. I don't remember on mine, but as I said, you have it on my blog with the measures in centimeters, so from there and from here you can figure out very, very clear and very well how to work it yourself, so how to work one for yourself or for whom you want to work it. As you can see, it's actually your choice. This is the nice part from my point of view. Okay, just continue on with the row, and I will be back to show you how to finish. So I will work this 3 row exactly as I told you. So here I will increase, here I will decrease, then I will complete 7 more rows with the same number of stitches without increasing and decreasing, and then I will be back to show you how to complete the last 3 rows. And what we know about that these last 3 rows is that on the bottom part we have to decrease. Okay, this is what we know from the back side. So I completed my 7 rows without increasing or decreasing. Here I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as I said before, I have to complete with 3 more. And what we know is that on the bottom part we will decrease for these 3 more. What we don't know, but it's easy to suppose, is that on the neckline, here we decrease, so here we will increase. So if we begin with 3 rows where on the bottom part side we increase and on the neckline we decrease, at the end on the same number of stitches on the bottom part we decrease and on the neckline we increase to obtain the same shape here. Okay, so that's easy. We begin with a decrease. I am on the neckline, so I will begin with a decrease. 1 or 2 chains, maybe 2, it's easier. Okay, skip the first, insert hook into the next. Sorry. Yes, I will begin with an increase because I am on the neckline, which means I will work chain 3 and then into the same first double crochet 1 more. And I will continue on until the end, and I will decrease the last 2. Then I will begin with a decrease. I will begin with a decrease, and I will finish with an increase. And into the third, I will begin with an increase, and I will finish with a decrease. One more thing, so if you begin here, depends on how many rows you completed. So if it's a even number or a odd number. Now I completed a odd number, it's 7 here, which means I will begin here. I will begin on the neckline with a increase, and I will decrease at the end. So the idea is that you will decrease on the bottom part and you will increase on the neckline, okay? So if you begin here, first, second, and the third, you will begin here too. So you will come here, you will increase and work chain 2. You know, you skipped here 2 chains. So you will work 2 chains and slip stitch into the last stitch here, because we just have to, of course, join with the back side now. And if you have something so you begin here, I will show you how to put that 2 chains, okay, when I will begin the third row here. So I'm back because, as I told you before, I just want to show you how to begin the third row. If you begin it here on the neckline, if you begin it on the bottom side, you begin it with a decrease. You increase at the end, chain 2 and slip stitch into the double crochet of the back side. If you begin it here, you will want to chain 3 and now chain 2 more, and this chain 2 is this chain 2 that we skipped, so two stitches that we skipped, and we just want to insert hook into the last double crochet of the back side and slip stitch to join. And we will come back 1 2 3, these are the 2. We will come back with slip stitches 1 and 2, okay, and we are ready to begin our row. So we chain 3 for the first double crochet, and into the very first stitch I will double crochet 1 more for the increase, and then I will continue on with my last, which is my third row of the front side too. And that's it. This is the end of the mid shoulder to mid shoulder part, and now all that we have to do is to work exactly the same number of stitches that we worked here, and here are 6 the stitches, the rows, there are 6, only that at the beginning and at the end we will continue on decreasing instead of increasing. So complete these 6 more rows. Actually, I will show you how to begin them just to be sure. So now that we finished this part too, so the front side too, what we have to do is this part where we worked together the front and the back before dividing and working the back side mid shoulder to mid shoulder for the neckline by itself, and then the front side. So I have here 6 rows. I will put exactly the same number of rows. So of course you will have more if you want a adult size. I put in mine 17 rows. So I will put exactly the same number of rows, and what I want to say is that I increased in each at the beginning and at the end of each row. Now I will continue on decreasing at the beginning at the end of each row, because we already began here with in these last 3 rows of the front side and on the back side, we already began on decreasing. So we will just continue on exactly the same thing, but instead of increasing, we will decrease at the beginning and at the end. Now to decrease at the beginning, I already showed you, but I want to show you one more time. So you chain 1 or 2, and into the very next stitch you work 1 double crochet, and when you come back you have to remember that it's the double crochet your last stitch, not the chain. Okay, so it's the double crochet your last stitch. At the end of the row it's really easy because we just work 2 double crochet together to decrease. Okay, so that's all. Now I will work my 6 rows like this. So, and don't forget to take your 2 stitches, so work your 2 stitches here. Okay, so of course it's important for the total of the stitches. And I will be back to show you the last part of our pullover, which is how to put a work on the contrary, the sleeve. So I completed my 6 rows here, and I also cut the yarn because now we have to begin here. I will explain to work the sleeve. So for the first sleeve I began with the chains, and I went on increasing in each of my third, and I finished with an increase row. Now I know how many stitches I have here, so it's 32, and I know how many chains I put, which is 22. So what I have to do is to count from here 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And here I will put a marker. And I finished here, so it's from left that I have to, it's like this that I have to begin. I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. And it's here that I will begin my first row. I put a increase. I began with I finished with a increase row, which means I will begin with a decrease row, and I will go on exactly like this, but on the contrary, which means decrease row, then 2 rows worked with the same stitches, with the same number of stitches, decrease row, 2 rows with the same number of stitches, and so on until I will reach the last the last row. Sorry. Of course, the same number of rows, same number of stitches. So here I am. It's here that I want to begin. I can work like this. Take the make a little knot. Okay, we can begin like this too. And now I will chain 1, 2, only 2, because as I said I will begin with a decrease. Okay, and now I will continue on. This is my first 1, 2, 3. I will count 32, and the last 2 stitches will be decrease. Okay, and then I will work 2 rows with the same number of stitches, then again decrease, exactly to obtain the same thing as for the other sleeve, but on the contrary. That's all. So I completed my 2 rows without decreases. I worked my first with decrease at the beginning, at the end, then 2 rows without decreases, then another row with decreases, 2 rows without. I completed for my sleeve 12 12 rows, so there will be 12 rows here too. I just went on, decrease in each of my third row for a total of 12 stitches. Rows. And at the end I will I will end up with exactly the same shape of and length of the sleeve that I already have. So my little blouse is finished. It sleeves and body. It's so easy. Now all that we have to do is to fold it in twice, like this, and of course to sew together the arms, the sleeves and the sides on one side and on the other side. And here we are, we have the blouse. Of course you can put, if you want to work around a little border, you can work it with single crochet. And then I put on my blog, you have the description actually of what I did here. But for the single crochet, the rule is 2 single crochets around each decrease, actually, sorry, around each double crochet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so around each double crochet you work 2 single crochet all around. Of course you begin on the back side and you go all around. You can put 1 or 2. If it's too large here, you can just adjust it like this. Okay, and here too, after you work all around with single crochet, exactly the same rule, 2 single crochets around the post, I wanted to say the post of each double crochet. Okay, that's it. It's really an easy construction, and I just want to thank you for joining me in this crochet adventure of mine. Thank you for following me. If you like my tutorials, just help me by like my tutorials and share them with your friends. So see you at the next tutorial. Bye bye, and don't forget to subscribe, of course.